Yo, yo, yo! What is going on? Howdy, hey everybody. I want to get this out of the way real quick first because I know there's some people coming here and saying, what is going on? Jake was supposed to do a hot sauce stream. He was supposed to eat a bunch of things, and that was supposed to be a whole thing today. Well, I woke up yesterday and I was hungover and sick, just to be completely straight up with y'all. And Jen, yeah, I think I have that thing that's going around. So your boy doesn't want to be doing anything that's going to upset the old stomach any more than it already is. But here we go. We're still going to have a great stream. We're still going to talk about Scream. We're going to talk about Halloween Ends, whatever the heck we want to do. Want to say hi to some of the people on here. JJ, what's going on? I predict that Scream 6 will have a bigger cast than Scream 4 or 5. We won't be able to know who Ghostface is this time. All bets are off. That's a really good idea there, JJ. I like that idea. I feel like the Scream 5 cast was a little limited and almost made it like pretty obvious who the killer was at certain points, like especially towards the end. So I hope Scream 6 has a bigger cast. That's a really good point, I think. Denisha, what's going on? Howdy, hey. Easton Plays. I was exactly on time, my friend. What is up? What is up? Tommy Doyle, reconstructive face surgery. See you in Halloween Ends. Oh my. Well, Tommy Doyle, I don't know if you became a channel member just now or not, but thank you. I greatly appreciate that. Channel memberships keep this page alive, so I appreciate that. I don't want to say that name, but welcome. Coop de Oof is also in the chat with some eggs. Nice. What's up, Kane? What's going on? What's going on? Yo, yo, yo. Cody says, Jake, I'm about done with your WWE character. All I need is a few more details on it. Whatever you need, man. Whatever you need. I'm pumped. I'm pumped to see it. Please tweet it out. Tweet it out at me or something. I'd love to see that. Just found your channel. I thoroughly enjoy your content. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. I've been sick the past 2 days, so I appreciate those positive vibes. I really appreciate that. Thank you for stopping by the stream. Thank you. Here on time-ish. Yeah. I was on time. I was exactly here at 5 o'clock. Bam. So, Ilum says, do you think Scream 6 will have more brutal kills? I hope so. Listen, that's one of Randy's rules, right? That the sequel's got to up the body count. It's got to get crazier. It's got to get bloodier. So hopefully that's the case. What's going on, Peyton? How's it going? Hi. Howdy, hey, howdy, hey. Liam, how's it hanging? What's up? Shareem Crumble. What's going on? I'm probably not pronouncing that right. I'm sorry. What is up? What it do, baby, as they say. Victor Cruz, what's going on? Adam, I can't answer that question on stream, but I do love me the Evil Bong movie. That's a banger right there. Tell your mom I said Happy Mother's Day. Yes, a Happy Mother's Day to Mama KillJoy. Thank you, Dr. Andy. Don't have Twitter. Yeah, just send it to me on Instagram. I would love to see that. That's hilarious, Cody. About the WWE character. Yes, I can hear you, Blake. You're coming through. Perfect. Extron Gaming, what's going on? Welcome to the stream, everybody. Welcome. So I want to talk a little bit about Scream 6, a little bit about Halloween Ends, all the good stuff that we all talk about. I haven't seen my mom all day. What? Coop de Oof, go say Happy Mother's Day to your mom. Unfortunately, my whole house is sick right now. We're all convinced we have that thing going around. But at some point this week, I'm going to... we always go out to Olive Garden or something along those lines. Something. So we'll be doing something later in the week. Hey, Jake, in 2023, I'll be filming a movie called Skelly. It's Scream, but the killer is in a skeleton. Skelly, but the killer is in a skeleton costume. Sick! Badass, man. All the power to you. Good stuff right there. I love your content. Thank you, Blake. I appreciate that. I hate to be the one to say this, but what would we do if we lose the beloved Roger L. Jackson? What do you think? Who would be the best to fill in the role in his honor? Oh God, that would be horrible. I hope we don't. I don't think we'll lose him. Roger L. Jackson's doing good to my knowledge. I could see James Earl Jones doing it. I don't know if he's a really big star. I don't know if he would do it or not, but that would probably be like my second choice, like just off the top of my head. He's got a great voice. I just watched this little thing about the voice of Darth Vader, about how it was like this like Scottish like a person with a Scottish accent beforehand, and it like they showed the original footage of like before they had James Earl Jones, and it's like, wow, that just doesn't sound the same at all. So very funny, very funny. Do I like possession movies? Yes. Oh, 100%. Yeah. I mean, like The Exorcist. The Exorcist is kind of like the Jaws of possession movies, like how Jaws is to shark movies. I just don't think you're ever going to get better than that. There's a lot of really good ones, though. Just like how there's a lot of really good shark movies, although they don't have the best stigma behind them, I guess. Will you ever start doing franchise rankings? Yeah, actually, it's a great question because yes, 100%. I want to start doing more like long form content on this page, and I feel like the quick little update videos are things that like people are gonna watch once and never again. So I want to start doing more stuff like that. Like I want to start ranking franchises. I want to start doing like longer review videos on certain movies. I kind of don't care if it doesn't get as many views. I want to start doing content like that along those lines, more or less. So yes, you will start seeing more of those. What's up, Angie? How's it hanging? What's up? What's up? What's up, J. Rome? Mrs. Diouf has been doing busy dance stuff. I gotcha. I gotcha. Six Cream. Yes. Yes, some Six Cream. I'm pumped. I put out a little short video talking about some rumored filming locations just now too. So very excited. Hopefully we're filming at McGill College. I think that would be cool. As long as, you know, the whole as long as the whole plot isn't exactly the same as Scream 2. I'm down for a college setting, honestly. I don't think it would be that bad. I'm not like super against it. Oh, Silas Murray, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for your loss. Wow. My condolences. I'm so sorry. Holy shit, it's Ghostface. Well, listen, okay, since you asked. Holy shit, it's Ghostface. I can never say no to that. Where are the wings? Listen, I'm gonna be honest. I'm like 90% sure I'm sick. I might have that thing that's going around. I can't taste anything, so I can like I'm drinking a Dr. Pepper right now, and I'm like I can't even. This tastes like water right now. So pretty sure I don't want to go out into public with all that going on. So. Yeah. I am not ignoring you, my friend. I promise. What else do we got? What do you think will happen in Scream 6? I got a theory video coming out tomorrow. I had a really interesting theory on the motive. I want to talk a little bit about like what they could do motive-wise that would make this different, because I feel like if they just keep going at the revenge angle or if it's something to do with revenge or the stab movies for the motive this time around, I'm gonna be like, okay, I've seen this before. So I got an idea. I'm gonna pitch it tomorrow. I'm curious what you guys think about it though. I have a really cool video idea coming, I guess. So Scream 6 cast announcements May 13th. I hope so. That'd be sick. This Friday, right? Yeah, it's Friday the 13th. That would be perfect. What better day to announce your horror movie news than Friday the 13th is what I say. Who's excited for Firestarter, by the way? I'm super pumped for Firestarter. Oh, we got Carrie in the chat. What's going on? Hope you feel better, rest easy, and no more Yeah, I learned that the hard way, Carrie. Thank you for stopping by the stream, Carrie. When's that A24 ranking you announced when X came out? So I want to watch every A24 horror movie. I still have yet to see oh god, what is that? Is it like In Fabric or something? I haven't seen that. There's like two or three A24 horror movies I haven't seen yet. So I want to watch like all of them and then make that video. I do want to do that. I might do that this week. I filmed a video when The Northman came out of talking about The Witch versus The Lighthouse. I want to post that video too. I just haven't gotten around to editing it. It's a really long video. Once again, I'm going to start doing more long form content. So, hello, Ghostface. What's going on? Holy shit, it's Ghostface. Was that perfectly timed? I think so. Who else is here? Who else is here? The Pepper stream will be in the future sometime. Your boy did not want to go out into public today, so I talked about that a little earlier. Eugene, thanks for stopping by the stream. You're a really good YouTuber. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Eugene. What's up, I Like Scary? I just did a stream with I Like Scary. He's got some really good content over there. We had a really good conversation about Halloween Ends 2 days ago. It was awesome on Friday. What's up? What's up? What's up? Oh, and this is for Jen Warner, who requests that I add this to my stream. So here you go. Prime time, bitch. You're welcome. There we go. So 100% right there. The Witch is one of the best horror movies ever made, in my opinion. Listen, after doing some research on that for that video, the attention to detail in that movie is insane. Like, wow. I'll have to post that video this week because it was a good video. I just never got around to editing it. So, what's up, Bob Hunt? How's it hanging? Last time I talked to you, it was on that crazy stream with Craven on Friday. So, welcome to the stream, man. Oh my God. How would you feel about Sam being Ghostface? I made a whole video on this, and I kind of talked about why I'm not that big of a fan of her being the killer in the next movie. I just don't. I feel like it's way too obvious, right? Like, she's Billy Loomis's daughter. It's like, yeah, it'd be like, yeah, of course she's Ghostface. Like of course that would be the case. I kind of want her to be like, I want that to be something she struggles with. We can see a lot of character development with Sam, and then she overcomes it, and then is a better person altogether because of it. It's also a great reason for her to be the final girl in the rest of these movies. I think now that she's kind of the star. I made a whole video the other day where I was talking about a theory on Sam, and I started it off by saying, I'm like, listen, I know Scream fans don't want to hear this, but we have new stars of the franchise now. We have new people who are at the forefront. And we have to roll with that, or else it's going to turn into a Last Jedi situation, which that is ultimately going to be worse than if you focus on these new characters. Whether you like them or not, I would rather see them get developed more than try to just rehash something with the legacy characters. That's just ultimately going to be a better story. So, am I the only one who doesn't want Sam to be a Ghostface? She took out Richie brutally and owned her heritage, but it shows something of her character and how she'd perform against other Ghostfaces. I 100% agree, Robert. I don't want to see her become the killer. It's too obvious too. I agree with what you said there too. I think it gives her a reason to be the forefront of this new series now. She has killer instincts. She can defend herself. I just feel like it would be too. For me, the worst thing is it would be so obvious. It'd be so, if you're watching the whole movie, she becomes the killer. That's way too obvious, man. I just hope that's not the case. Scream would never be Star Wars Last Jedi. Don't speak too soon. Listen, I love Radio Silence. I love them so much. They're amazing. I love everything they made before Scream too. I really loved all that. Their whole catalog is amazing. But I'm mildly concerned moving into Scream 6. I hope they don't they don't go the Last Jedi route and completely abandon the new characters to focus on some other BS. So definitely something I'm concerned about. So you got to keep the story going with what you've already established, or else it's just going to feel really clunky. That's the biggest problem. I know people have even bigger problems with Last Jedi, but for me, that was the biggest problem with the new sequel trilogy of Star Wars films. A lot of people don't want it, but Mindy as Ghostface would be sick. I've heard a few people say this now at this point, which is interesting. I don't know. To me, a lot of people have said that she came off as kind of kind of mean in that last film, and to me it was kind of just she just has a wicked sense of humor. She's kind of a rebel. She's she smokes pot and she's making out with some girl at the party and all that. To me, she just comes off as kind of like a rock star kind of character. I don't know. To me, I don't see her becoming Ghostface, but I could maybe I've talked a little bit about how there was maybe a third Ghostface the entire time throughout that last film, and it could be one of the Meeks twins for sure. So I'm not totally against that, but to me, I would almost rather see some new characters come in, play a Ghostface killer, and I have an idea for the motive. Once again, make sure to check out my video tomorrow because it's gonna be banging, gonna be absolutely banging. Do you think Mindy will die or Chad if they're in Scream 6? I'm not gonna lie. I think if I feel like one of these returning characters, at least one of them is going to die. It's probably gonna be Chad, which I know that's so sad. I love Chad. Chad is amazing. Mason Gooding is just an amazing human being. It would suck and it would be sad, but if that plot description we got had any truth to it about a surviving member of Ghostface Killings gets attacked and killed, it's probably going to be Chad, and it's probably not going to be somebody from a past movie. It's probably going to be someone from that last film getting murdered, and then it's like it brings everyone back together to try and solve who this new killer is. Who knows? Who knows what the case will be this time around though? Can I add a clip? I'd got a good. Yeah, any suggestions? I will listen to. This is as I like to say, this is a democratic dictatorship. So I will always listen, but I get the final word on what I do with things on the page. But I will always listen to what you guys have to say. By the way, if you're just joining the stream, thank you to everyone who's in here. 40 people. Holy crap, this is nuts. I am a little under the weather, so if I sound a little nasally, please make fun of me. I don't care. You boys got something going on, which ain't sitting right with me. But yeah, so add a Rickroll clip. I might get a copyright strike if I do that, but who knows? Craven had just said something about getting a copyright claim on the "I'll Be There" song, which is why I don't have it on my strip on my. What did I just say? On my stream, I don't have. I mixed clip with stream, and strip came out. I don't know what happened there. Jaws bigger boat. You know what? I'm adding it to the list. So bigger boat. And then Ghostface has a suggestion for me as well at some point. Would you like a new Ghostface mask? Yes, like 100%. We're playing around with that in Red Right Hand for our movie. We're gonna have different kinds of ghost faces, which is gonna be really cool. So I'm very excited for y'all to see that. It's gonna be good stuff. You'll be shocked. Oh hell, okay, yeah. Hello, Sydney. I could see that. Yeah. I also added this today for whenever I need to ban people.
I'll send you a copy.
So if you're toxic in the stream, I'll send you a copy. There we go. Every Scream movie except for the fourth one has a returning character that gets killed off, so it would make sense for Scream 6 as well. Yeah, I pretty much agree, Chris Collins. I think that they have to kill somebody off too. Like it would make the murder mystery element work so much better, especially if they add a bunch of like new characters. You'd have to kill off one of the returning ones, because you're not going to suspect one of them as Ghostface unless they take that third killer route, like I was talking about earlier. Yeah. Thank you, Flash Skywalker. I appreciate that comment so much. I took like an Advil cold and sinus, so I'm starting to just fucking vibe. But yeah. 46 amazing people in the chat. Let's give our boy Jake a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Yeah, I hate to sound. I want to echo what Carrie said there. If you guys could like this stream and subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate it. Super chats are also greatly appreciated, so I can afford more Dayquil. You can argue that we did get a new mask in the television series. Yeah, 100%. I don't hate the MTV mask. Like, the more I didn't love it at first, but the more I look at it, I'm like, it's not as iconic as the Ghostface mask, but it's like it's scary, you know? It's a scarier version, I think. It's, like I said, not as iconic, but definitely scary. Definitely maybe a bit scarier. Unfortunately I have, Victor. I will not say who, but yes. Add the famous there's so many things I could take from Thanksgiving and put them as a clip. Like okay, what's the one? Gobble gobble, motherfucker. Like, that one would be great. I'm trying to think what else I could use from Thanksgiving. There's so many ridiculous lines of dialogue from that film. I did a whole oddly enough, one of my favorite videos on this channel is all the filming locations videos. Like, I love all of them. And for whatever reason, I thought, hey, let's do a Thanksgiving filming locations video, because they filmed that an hour away from where I live. So I was like, fuck it, why not? Highly recommend checking out that video. It's very silly, a lot of fun filming those. I'm not gonna do too many more filming locations videos, but the ones I have made, I love all of them. I think they're all really fun. Highly recommend. Thank you so much, Carrie. I appreciate that. For your Dayquil, buddy, and $7 because we love odd numbers around here. Yes. Yeah, on Craven Street. Thank you, Carrie, by the way. Thank you for the super chat. It means a lot. Yeah, we on Craven stream the other night, we I was like, he was like, what amount, what would be the super chat to keep the stream going for the rest of, for like 20 more minutes? And I'm like, $27. And he's like, what? Like, that's why that number? And I'm like, I'm just feeling it. I'm just feeling the number 27. So thank you for the odd number, Carrie. I appreciate that. Seven's like one of my favorite numbers too. I don't know why, but I just vibe with 7. These numbers. What's up, Tori? I don't know if I said hi to you or not. These numbers are way off. 44 are watching, but only 28 likes. Oh my god. Yeah, get the likes up, everybody. Oh my god. Why do I sound like Jerry Seinfeld? Scroll up to my last comment. You know, maybe I will. Don't tempt me with a good time. Then why would they make Chad survive that brutal attack in 5 just to kill him off in 6? Exactly. I mean, right there. Why not? Why not kill him off at this point? You thought he was alive, and then a twist! He's dead. I mean, I think it would be a little disappointing if we don't at least get like a scene with him. You know, like I don't want him to just like Ghostface jumps out of a closet, stabs him in the back. That would be really underwhelming. I think. Well, you got to do like some good setup here. Like give us a good moment between him and maybe like Mindy or something. What are they doing a year later after the events of Scream 5? I'd love to know. If it is really a remake of Scream 2, Mindy has to. I hope it's not a remake of Scream 2. Like, I really hope it's not. That's the big thing. Like, I'm fine with the college setting. I'm down for Tara and I'm down for Tara to go to college and all that. Have a whole plot line like that. Maybe Sam is being super protective of her. That's okay. I'm totally all right with that. But just don't go the same route as Scream 2. You know, don't have the opening scene be like a couple goes to see a movie at the new Stab movie. Oh, Stab 9 is out and we're going to go see it, and they get killed in the movie theater. Like, and the thing that I think will bug me the most is if they make like somebody's mom the killer. Like, oh, Richie, it was Richie's mother. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. We don't need that. There's so many more stories you can tell in this universe. It's not that crazy of a concept. Scream, you know, it's a murder mystery, horror commentary. There's so much you can do with that. There's so much you can do with that idea that would be original and fun. I say just that's what we need to do. That's what we need to do with this next film. Do something different, something we haven't seen. Don't just repeat Scream 2. So, not the bees.
Oh no, not the bees! Not the bees! Ah!
That's my favorite one right there. Listen, I don't know if you guys saw that new Nick Cage movie about it has the most ridiculously long title ever that actually really suits the movie. Not the greatest movie I've ever seen. But I really enjoyed it. It's just a celebration of Nicolas Cage and his entire body of work. So if you haven't seen it, it's worth the watch for just that. The references, there is a bees reference too. That made the entire movie for me personally. So what's the strangest thing in your refrigerator? Well, if I was Patrick Bateman, I would say somebody's head, but thankfully I am not. So that's pretty messed up. The unbearable weight of mass. Yeah. Like, how am I supposed to remember that? The unbearable weight of mass. Like, what? Just name it Nicolas Cage the movie. Okay, that's a bad take, but funny. My biggest problem with Scream 2 was that it had too much copycat going on in it, but the chase scenes were phenomenal. I agree with that. I think that, yeah, the chase scenes were done really well, especially like CC Cooper's like entire chase sequence was good. I think, like, for me, the biggest thing about Scream 2 that I don't, like, honestly, I love the entire movie throughout the whole time. I just, like, and I know I've expressed this before, I just don't love Mrs. Loomis. And it's not just because of her very silly and over-the-top performance at the end. It's also the, like, how it's set up. Like, it feels like they just filmed these, like, punch-in shots with her and Gail talking. And it's like, it's either her that's the killer or it's Sydney's boyfriend is like where I'm at in that movie. Because you're not convincing me it's Cotton Weary. They spend the entire second act of that movie trying to convince you of that. I think the first act is phenomenal. The second act focuses a little too much on Cotton Weary. And then the third act is, yeah, I don't know. It's one of those movies that I feel like could have been fantastic. It could have been a great sequel. You had a really good concept for your killer. but focus on Mickey a little more, man. Like Mickey's awesome, and you take you just like copy and pasted Pamela Voorhees from Friday the 13th, put that into Scream 2. I wasn't a big fan of Pamela Voorhees in Friday the 13th either. Like, was that I don't know. I put out this poll today talking about like what's your favorite horror mom, and like shockingly, what's the numbers on this? A shocking 52% lead with Pamela Voorhees. I was like seriously? Over Wendy Torrance, over Lorraine Warren, over Norma Bates? Like, I don't know. I was shocked. I love Pamela Voorhees, man, but like, I don't know. Compared to the performances from all the three previously mentioned ones, like Vera Farmiga in the Bates Motel show, man. I don't know. I don't know. It's like to me, all those other performances were like, I feel like the Pamela Voorhees and like Mrs. Loomis are the names that you like hear the most, but like Wendy Torrance, man, Shelley Duvall, come on, like nothing beats that for me personally. That was my pick. I wish they had developed Mickey. I agree. Mickey's the most underrated killer, I think, for sure. Timothy Olyphant too just plays crazy so well, and then he just gets like he's just done. He does not have enough screen time for me personally. But I know I'm in the minority opinion with that. But I don't know. Like, I just feel like, God, you could have developed that character. You could have made him a little crazier, a little more integral to the plot and all that. Add the clip of Stu saying, "I'll be right back," and watch it. Yeah, okay. I'll be right back. Oh. I will do that, Ghostface. I will add that clip. I'll be right back. Well, listen, I'll kind of talk about what I want the motive to be in Scream for a second. For me, what I really want from this next film is a motive that we haven't seen before. Like, I was talking about this earlier about how it's all about the motive always seems to be like something relating to the stab movies or some kind of form of revenge. Like, it's always along those lines. To me, we've seen that so many times. There's so many more motives to start killing people. There's so many more reasons to do that. And in my opinion, arguably, there are scarier motives to just start killing people. We were talking about The Strangers the other night on the Lethal Collective stream. And I was like, the scariest thing about that movie is when they ask, like, why are you doing this? Why did you come in? Why are you torturing us like this? And it's like, they just say, because you were home. Like, they don't really have a motive. They're just killing people because it's fun to them. That's so sinister and so messed up. I think that one little line of dialogue, in my opinion, is scarier than any third act speech from a Ghostface killer. Like, I just think, like, it less is more in a sense, you know? So I feel like I would love to see that from a Ghostface killer where it's like less is more. They're not like outwardly explaining every reason of why they did this and that. Give us that in this next film. Give us like little lines of dialogue that maybe it's like up to audience interpretation of how and why these killers are doing what they're doing, but you don't really get a full, clear picture. That's something I would love to see from Scream 6, where it's just something totally different, something we've never seen before. Just someone who is completely psychotic, has lost their ever-loving mind, and just took up the Ghostface mantle and started killing people. Why not? Why not do that is what I say. Kind of don't want us to know the motive, kind of like The Strangers, how they didn't really have an answer. And oh my God, Jake, get out of my, yeah. We were same wavelength, Carrie. Bam, there we go. Like, and how different would that be? Like, and it's less personal to the actual characters you're watching on screen, so you can relate it to yourself. Like, that could happen. What happens in The Strangers could happen to anybody. And I feel like you can't really make that argument about the Scream movies. So to me, that's just a million times scarier than just like something being about personal to the to the actual characters in the Scream films. Would you want a motive where a Ghostface is killing to protect somebody? Yeah, I could see that being the case too. Like, maybe I'm not gonna say that, but yeah, I could, like, that makes me worry though that we take the Sam approach where it's like Sam's gonna start killing people to protect Tara, and I really hope that's not the case. Like, I really hope that's not the case. But I could see somebody like trying to be overprotective of somebody, and it's like, oh well, you were too close to, like, someone who's overdoing it, someone who's like killing people who they think is maybe a threat to like a younger sibling or someone who's close to them. But they don't, like, it's just like, okay, you're being ridiculous. You don't need to kill those people. Maybe just have a talk with some of those people about like being toxic to your friend, to your sibling, whatever. You know what I mean? Like that could be cool. I could see that being well done. Hello, Ghostface. How's it hanging?
Holy shit, it's Ghostface!
As always, whenever a Ghostface enters the chat, gotta throw that up there. So, I love an opening scene in 6 where a couple goes to stab 9, maybe Chad and his new girlfriend, and they survive. But when they go to their homes, they die, and the Ghostface mask and Ghostface makes them think the other did it. See, like I see the spin you're putting on it there, Coop, but like I just don't. That's like Scream. That's just the whole time I'd be watching that, I'd just be thinking to myself, okay, well, this is just Scream 2. Cool. So I really just hope they don't follow similar plot beats to Scream 2, because then I'm just gonna be like, okay, radio, what are you doing, Radio Silence? Come on. Tara prefers elevated horror. Scream 2022 was not that. Therefore, Tara is not the mastermind. She would have done it differently. Yeah, I don't think Tara was a killer at all. Like, that's just she's the opening attack. She's the opening attack. She's in the hospital the entire time. I don't see her being another killer. I don't see her going evil either. With the very little things we know about her character, I just don't see it happening. Don't think that's going to be the case. Not at all. I was 10 when Scream 1 came out. Killing off Drew Barrymore in the opening scene was so shocking. I was scared to watch the rest of the film then. Yeah, listen, like that opening to the original Scream is amazing. I mean, it is really something special. I love that sequence. It's something that you can't recreate now at this point. It's one of those things where it's like, how did they get away with doing that? They killed this like super huge star at the time and promoted the movie like she was going to be the star of it. That's so cool. That's so nutty. I've never seen that before ever. That's insane to me. I love it. I think, I don't know, to me, that's something like you gotta respect. Love or hate the franchise. That's just something that you'll never recapture again in horror movies, I don't think. That and like the Blair Witch Project, like around the same time those things came out, and it's like you're never gonna be able to recreate the magic that both of those films did. Killing off the biggest star in your entire movie in the opening scene, like 11 minutes in, Drew Barrymore's dead. Where does this film go next? What happens now that you've killed off this lead character? That's crazy to me. Then in the Blair Witch Project, you advertise this thing like it's a real snuff film coming to theaters. Like, that's so scary to me. I love it. I love everything about that. And I want to go on a quick rant about something. I've been seeing a lot of posts from people, and I don't know, maybe I'll get some hate from this, but this is just my opinion. People are getting offended from horror movies and like Doctor Strange and all that, and they're like, I took my kids to see this. Like, what? You know, like I can't believe, like, Sam Raimi's directing the film. What did you Sam Raimi's directing it. They advertised the movie as Marvel's first horror film. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell. Like, that's crazy to me. Don't go see horror films if you're easily offended. I don't know what to say. I've always loved horror for that reason. It's the only place you can get like certain kinds of stories, certain kinds of visuals that are just really messed up and scary. And it's like you get a certain feeling from this genre that you can't get anywhere else. I don't think it's why it's my favorite. It's why I've always had a likeness to it opposed to other things. There's something about darker films too that just interest me more. Like I guess like I like, you know, some Pixar movies will have some like really good thought-provoking angles to them, but like a majority of the horror movies I watch have that. And that's something that like it's such a necessary thing for me to see in film now. It's like I want like deep thinking kind of movies. I want things that are like smart, kind of witty, but also super bloody and gory and shocking. So like it's something I'm worried about with Red Right Hand. Like, we have some really not just like visceral kills that we're gonna have in it. That's super different. Like, it's not just like it's not just knife kills where it's like, oh, some blood comes out and there's you see a dead body covered in blood. Like, it's a little more than that. We're doing what we can with a low budget, but I think it's going to be it's just so much more visceral and disturbing than a typical Scream film, which is why I feel like some people are going to get turned off from Red Right Hand, who are like used to just people getting stabbed in a Scream film. So I don't know. I'm like mildly worried about that, but I'm mildly concerned, but I think I don't know. I think it's going to be, I'm really excited for it. I think we're bringing something totally new to the Scream franchise with our fan film. It's going to be fun. It's going to be something completely different. So yeah, I probably do. So you're probably right, JJ. Maybe I'm just completely insane. You know, that could be it. That could be it. if you didn't realize Richie was the killer when he walked into Tara's room with the power out and no one is around, and he isn't even freaked out a little bit. I will say, I had a few people I had a few people in mind for the killer watching that movie. Amber was the one that shocked me the most. Richie was pretty obvious in the third act, I think, especially when he was like, I don't know, the whole thing about him being like, oh yeah, maybe we shouldn't go to her house. We shouldn't go to the murder house. He seems a little too too safe. Like, does that make sense? Like, he's suggesting things that are really good ideas, and to me it's just like, I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if I agree with that, Richie. So he is a bit obvious, I think. For what was going through my head the entire time, I was kind of overthinking it though when I was watching Scream 5. I'm like, no way they're gonna make the boyfriend again. Like, come on, that's just not gonna happen. And here we go. Yeah, okay. So, yeah. Had the Sharon Stone clip for timeout. That's pretty funny, Ghostface. I was never a Disney kind of kid. I was a horror girl since the day I was born. Nice story. That's awesome. Yeah, I just really like fucked up movies. I don't know. That's just my thing. I love seeing something where it's like, I have literally never seen this before, and I typically only get that feeling from weird horror movies. Like, I never knew that I would need the answer to this question, but when I saw The Lighthouse and you see the mermaid for the first time, if you know what I'm talking about, if you've seen The Lighthouse, you know, you get a certain question answered about mermaid mythology that I think at any point in time, maybe someone has asked that question about how do mermaids reproduce? Like, how does that happen? And Robert Eggers answers that question in a scene I just was never expecting to find the answer to. Like, wow, okay, that's holy shit. So, yeah, I think horror is the only genre where I can get some kind of visual like that, where I've never seen this before. Like, this is something you can't get the mermaid scene from The Lighthouse anywhere else. You really can't. Like, that's what's so interesting about weird horror films to me. I think that's why I have such a calling to them. But then there are films that are just a little too messed up, like Martyrs, which I couldn't even sit through. So I feel like there's a line you shouldn't cross, and some films like that one in particular cross that line for me. I don't know. So I think like Evil Dead 2013 is like very close to crossing that line because of how insane all the everything in that movie is for me, but I still love it. It's amazing. So maybe that's just me. Maybe I just like taking horror to. I just like when they take it almost a step too far. Almost a step too far, but not quite. So, yeah, yeah. I've never seen that for the first one, but I've heard about what that's about. What's the? Oh my god, I can't remember the other one about the porn star dude. That's basically like some bad stuff happens in that one. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna elaborate on with that. I have not seen the remake, I believe. I'm going to be honest, I tried to watch this like in 2018 when I was starting to get into horror, and I'm like, oh, I should try to watch this messed up movie that's like the most messed up thing ever made, apparently. And I believe I watched the original, because the remake's from like 2008 or something. A Serbian film, yeah, that's another one that crosses the line for me, like, by a lot. But yeah, some movies are just a bit too much. Like, there's definitely that line, you know what I mean? You got to find that easy medium between like not scary enough and too scary. So if someone donates $69 right now, I will absolutely lose my mind. that would be great. You know what? If someone donates $69, I will go and watch all of a Serbian film. I will go and watch all of Martyrs. Bam. So $69. Let's get it going. That's hilarious. Nice is all I have to say to that. Coop de oof. We got Matt in the chat. What's going on, Matt? When are you lighting your mouth on fire? Not today. Not today, because Matt, I should probably tell you this. I haven't messaged you all day, but your boy is sick for sure. Like, I definitely got something going on. Definitely a little under the weather, but it's okay. You know, we just start filming this weekend for the movie. It's, you know, everything's fine. But you know, it's all good. Everything's fine. I sound like Charlie Day. What's going on? Who else do we got in the chat? What is up, Rioter? What's up? What's up? Yeah. What they said. Amber for me was the easy one to figure out because of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It just seemed like casting directors saw that movie and was like, yep, she plays crazy well. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but also you could take the angle of like, is she also just a good red herring? You know what I mean? Like, is she just a really good red herring? Is she just you could take it that route. I wasn't even thinking about that the entire movie. Like, I wasn't even thinking about along those lines if she could be the killer or not. I completely forgot she was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, like before seeing the movie. I was like, oh, nice, cool, sick. She was fantastic in Scream 5 and 1. I almost like her performance a little more in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Like, she's just amazing in that movie. She's completely insane. She plays crazy so well. Like, Amber Freeman is such a good character. I don't know. You should do a Scream Legacy review if you have not. I never did one. I really liked Scream Legacy. It was cool. I think it had a lot of, like, it really felt like, it's one of the only Scream fan films where I really felt like I was watching a Scream movie. Like, it felt like it was like a somewhere between like Screams 3 and 4 or something where you had missed out on like this storyline. So it was cool. It was cool. I appreciated what they did with that film. I need to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yes. I recommend mostly all of Quentin Tarantino's. I recommend a lot of Quentin Tarantino's movies. Almost all of them. So yeah, no, I'm really pumped for Scream 6. I'm super pumped for that. But who do we want to see play the killer in this new movie? And I've talked a little bit about Samara Weaving. And we also had these like casting rumors, which I did a video on that as well. If you guys have not seen it, it's a banger. So I talked a little bit about the guy from Happy Death Day, which his name is completely slipping me right now. But this guy's rumored to be in the movie. He's like he's like Tree's boyfriend in Happy Death Day. I haven't seen that movie in so long. Israel Brossard, who plays Carter Davis in Happy Death Day, is rumored to be in this new film. It was on that like Letterboxd cast list thing, which no way is that true, but it would be really cool. I think it would be really, really sweet if that was the case. If he's in it. They also put like Anya Taylor-Joy on the list though, and like I just don't see her being interested in being in a Scream film personally. I would love that. I would love for her to be. I would 100% love for her to be a part of this next film, Anya Taylor-Joy. But like, I just don't. I don't see it happening. She's like expressed in interviews with like kind of talking along the same lines as like what Robert Eggers says about most like modern day films, where she's just not really interested in being in like big genre movies like that. Like she was in like Last Night in Soho, but that's also kind of more indie. Not indie's not the right word, but like more underground than like a typical like mainstream horror movie like Scream or Halloween. I just don't see it happening. So. What else do we got? What else do we got in the chat? Mom de Oof is calling me. Well, Coop de Oof, wish her a happy Mother's Day. I hope y'all have a fantastic little day. Thanks for stopping by the stream. What else do we got? Yes, and maybe apologize for using so much of her using her credit card. That's so funny, man. I apologize about all the and I apologize about all that. Your boy is still feeling a little bit under the weather. But I guess where I was going with that whole point about Israel Brossard is I could totally see him being in this just because he's, well, first of all, not as big of a star as Anya Taylor-Joy too. That's another reason why I just don't think she's going to be in the 6th movie in a slasher franchise. I could see him being in this because in a lot of ways, Happy Death Day is very similar to Scream. Like, it's just like, wow, those two franchises are so similar. So I could totally see him being in this next film, especially if we're taking the college route now, which is heavily rumored. He would be a good casting decision. I think like maybe one of Tara's friends or something along that lines that goes to the college. That could be really cool. What's up, Jordan? We got another channel member in the chat. Thank you. And real quick, I know everyone's like, oh God, like YouTubers talking about their shamelessly plugging their shit is so annoying. But if you become a channel member, You get an extra video every single week, and then if you support me at some of the other higher tiers and all that, you get like other bonus content. Like I want to, once I get some more Freddy tier supporters, I'm gonna start doing like secret live streams just for them. Be a really good time. Also, I recently opened a merch store. So if you're interested in that, you can get like one of these shirts. Look at that. Instead of having friends, I have horror. You can display that you don't have any friends on your shirt. Like how awesome would that be? You can also get a Ghost Jake shirt. That's a really stupid name, but it's pretty funny. And also maybe you just want to go with an OG KillJoy Jake, like just straight up the logo, you know? That's all in the description below. My merch store is in literally the description of every single ones of my videos. So there you go. Maybe you're like, hey, you know, I want to talk about this like YouTuber who's kind of like whack and gets sick on his live streams and is kind of a weirdo. You know, I don't know. Maybe that's the case for you. So there you go. Apologize for that. There we go. I'm still waiting on the shirt I bought from your merch store. My mail here sucks. Oh, well, I'm so sorry. I did have somebody I had somebody tweet at me saying they were wearing a shirt. One of my shirts was, I was like, oh, that's so cool. Thank you. So thank you, Carrie, for getting that. I appreciate it. Back just to say my mom said thanks for Happy Mother's Day. Oh, yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Tommy Doyle with the super chat. Thank you so much, Tommy. Some rumors floating around. Allison will be possessed by Michael. #Halloween4, and she kills Laurie Strode. Yikes, man. Oh God. What an ending. What an ending to that film that would be. My God. I don't even know what to say. Like, I just feel like I'd be so disappointed with that. Like, especially if they went into a Halloween 4. Like, I mean, not a Halloween 4. If they like continued it with Allison possessed by the spirit of Michael, that just screams. Tommy, thank you for the super chat. I hate to just completely disagree with with what you said, but like, to me, I just don't feel like that would work. Like, I just don't think that would work at all. It sounds like what's Friday Part 9 called? Jason Goes to Hell. It sounds like Jason Goes to Hell, but like modernized. And I like that's my one of the least favorite Friday movies. I think it's like why copy something that was such a bomb when it came out? I don't know. Don't know what to tell you about that. Couldn't tell you. Don't know what to say about that. I'm completely sober, so don't plan on doing what I did on Craven's live stream ever again. So, do you have sizes for 6'11"? I mean, probably. It's all through Teespring that I do it. So you would have to ask them. you would have to go through that. I don't like make the shirts or anything, so it's kind of just like through another website. I saw Kirby is the opening age, survives, but her boyfriend dies. She's the opening scene, you said. Interesting. Here's my thing. Like, if she survives, I'm okay with that. But if they bring back an old character just to kill him at the opening, isn't that gonna feel really disappointing? Like, isn't that gonna just feel like, really? Like, like you took us this far, and now you're just gonna kill this character. You teased it in the last movie. You're gonna bring her back, and bam, she's dead. I'd be kind of disappointed with that, honestly. Do you think being in a Scream movie can give a new upcoming actor a lot of recognition? Yeah, 100%. I think that now you have so many more eyes on people like Mikey Madison, like who maybe beforehand you might not have known about. For example, she's very talented actress. That's just one example from this latest film. Because I feel like not a whole lot of people were talking about her after Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and that's unfortunate. It just wasn't as big of a film. So to have more eyes on these super talented people like that is really meaningful to me. I think that's awesome. But it also should also mean like for people like watching that and being like, oh, hey, I really liked Amber. Go watch their other stuff too, because it's all really good stuff. Like, go watch all their other like indie weird stuff. I love when like indie actors get to do like something like that's really popular in the mainstream like that, because then it's like I hope it opens up the door to go watch that other more obscure and weird stuff. So Got to get going. Well, thank you. Thanks for stopping by the stream, Dr. Andy. I appreciate it. Have to be with my mom today. Let me know about the next Scream 6 live stream. I'll be playing Nintendo 64 games on my Android. Bye, Jake. Well, thanks for stopping by, Andy. I appreciate that. Have fun with your mom. Tell her I said Happy Mother's Day. But yeah, I like that. I don't know. Like for me, I just I don't know where I'm going with this. Kirby. We're talking about Kirby. I really don't want them to bring back an old character like Kirby, Joel. Like Joel is heavily rumored to be in this next film because like it's kind of their Scream 2, right? It's kind of Radio Silence's Scream 2. I hope that it doesn't. Like I said, I said this before. I hope it doesn't just copy the same beats that last. Like Scream 2 went through and it's just Radio Silence doing it all over again. I just really hope that's not the case. I really hope that's not the case at all. That would just be so whack. Yeah, imagine Richie in Scream 6. That would have been awesome. I'm like, once again, I'm all for like, if you want to have like if you want to do another Jill situation where it's like you keep somebody alive who's like, oh, this Ghostface killer was alive the whole time and they come back. That's cool. That's always cool. But like, Richie's very dead. Richie is very, listen, like you could argue that Stu could come back for these new films, but I just don't think you could argue that Richie's still alive. Like, man, after all that, no way. No way. I don't see any of the killers from the last movie still being alive. But who knows? You never know. Horror movie logic is so much more different than real life logic. So tell Mama KillJoy we say Happy Mother's Day. I absolutely will. I was supposed to take her out to lunch this morning, but unfortunately our entire house has kind of just gotten sick. But sometime this week, I will 100%. I'm gonna take her out to probably like Olive Garden or something. That's like our that's our place. We're like the only two people in my family who really like Olive Garden, so we'll probably take her there. So. Do you think they are ever going to kill off Sidney? Sidney equals Michael Myers. Sidney equals Freddy Krueger. I love how it is the opposite when it comes to this franchise. To me, that is original. I see what you're saying. It's almost like Sidney is the returning slasher every single time. The Nightmare on Elm Street franchise is iconic for Freddy Krueger, and the Scream franchise is iconic for having a similar final girl always coming back for every single movie. So I see what you're saying there. I don't think they'll ever kill off Sidney. Neve Campbell has even stated that she won't do a movie where they kill her off. I hope that's never the case. I hope they never kill Sidney Prescott. So for me, the biggest reason behind that and why, and I pretty much agree wholeheartedly with Neve Campbell on this, is she had said something along the lines of like, well, to me, like Sidney Prescott represents overcoming trauma. It represents overcoming, like this is a character who has grown past that, who has been through these really dark times and still has a very positive life. And for her to now get murdered by those things from her past is kind of ruining all of that potential, I think. And I don't ever want to see her die. I really think that would just be super disappointing. And just, I don't know. I don't want to see that. I'm wouldn't be a fan of watching that. That's the one character I really don't want to die from this entire franchise. Like if Gale dies, I'll be upset, and I don't think it's super important to kill another legacy character at this point. But it would really upset me if they killed Sidney over Gale, I think. Richie Train, 27 stabs, a throat slash, and brains blown out means nothing. Right on, Flash, right on. You know, maybe, yeah, sure. That's hilarious. I love it. Do you think it would be cool to see Neve Campbell have a cameo in Halloween or Laurie have a cameo in Scream? We've talked about this a little bit in some past live streams. And yes, I would maybe not playing the role of Laurie Strode, but could you see Jamie Lee Curtis having some kind of role in these movies? I think that would be awesome. Like she could totally be like a college professor or something in the next movie. That would be so fun. That would be so cool to be like, oh shit, like no way. So I think that would be so cool to see her in a Scream movie for sure. It's probably going to be a while till we get another Halloween film, so we probably won't be able to get that kind of reference. But Neve Campbell in a Halloween film also would be really sweet, and also like sort of meta in a weird way. I'd be down. What's up, Kat? How's it going? I love your profile picture. Dumb side question: is KillJoy Jake a reference to the clown from Full Moon Productions? That's really funny because I've had people speculate on that, and they've also were like, "Oh, are you a My Chemical Romance fan for that?" Like, yeah, I do like My Chemical Romance, but no to both of those. Actually, I bought the KillJoy box set as like a joke. It's on my set. You know what? I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna show y'all. I bought the 3-movie box set to be like, oh yeah, this is obviously the reason why. Totally why I named my channel after these phenomenal movies. No, man. These are very, very okay. I don't like. I've talked about this before. I'm not a big fan of Full Moon. I think anything with full moon pictures on it is like you can probably skip. I don't know. I don't know. But the reason I called myself that at first was I thought it would be hilarious to. And this is such a bad. Conceptually, this is like the worst idea for a movie channel. But at first, I was going to do a channel where I just spoiled movies without putting a spoiler warning in front of it, and I'm like a month into doing this channel, I'm like, that is so dumb. Like, why would anyone want to watch that? No one would want to watch that. That's so dumb. So I kind of just ran with the name because I thought it sounded cool. But yeah, so Jake streaming equals good soup. Thank you, Carter. Thank you, Carter Scotland Allen. I appreciate that. I'm always trying to make good soup on this page. That's the one goal of the KillJoy Jake YouTube channel. Good soup. And I talked about this earlier, but now that I have some more people in the live stream, I'm curious what you guys have to say about this. I'm thinking about doing some more long form content with my videos instead of just like, because like I'm getting to a point where I'm making all these videos on like little tiny bits of information. I feel like I'm not really offering anything to the conversation. I really like my theory videos. Like that's always fun for me to make. I love doing the updates on like the bigger stuff and like trailers and all that. But I really want to start like. I did a short video today, like a short, it was like 49 seconds on the script, like the Scream 6 filming locations rumor. And to me, that was like, okay, that was worth your time. Like it's 49 seconds long. And I talk about just a rumor going around right now. I don't want to make whole entire videos on like things that are just really small and like just trying to stretch them into things. I feel like in the past I've kind of done that. And I'm like, now I want to stop doing that. And I want to start making like, I want to start improving my content even more. So I'll probably start doing some more like long form stuff. And I'm curious what you guys have to say about that. Like I want to start doing like ranking videos, big review videos on like certain movies that I'm like a huge fan of on this page. It's going to be, it's going to be much different kind of a much different kind of like space here, which is what I'm worried about by switching up that kind of content. So Ghostface Fanatic, thank you so much. Holy shit, it's oh wait, I'm on the wrong thing. Holy shit, it's Ghost.
Holy shit, it's Ghostface!
There we go. Thank you so much for the super chat, Ghostface Fanatic. I don't know, Richie didn't die when he got stabbed a million times. Sam literally had to slit his throat. You know, that's a good point. I see what you're saying. But I don't know, for me it's just like if they bring, like, do you want to bring them back after all that? I will admit, like, Richie did not seem to be in any sort of pain when he got stabbed all that time, and he's just like, what about my movie? Or what about my ending? That's what he says. Yeah, so I do agree. It was almost like he should have expressed a little bit of something like oh god, oh geez, I'm getting stabbed. You know what I'm saying? So I love how Jack Quaid also was talking about on like, I think it was like Twitter or Instagram or something about how he's like, oh, Melissa Barrera stabbed me 27 times in the chest. Like, holy shit. Like, that's so funny to me. I love Jack Quaid so much. I almost wish he was like, I almost wish he wasn't the killer just so we could have him in the next movie. He's so amazing in everything he does, but he was also a really good choice for a killer, I think. For me, the mystery wasn't there with his character. That's just the writing for me personally, but I really liked his performance in that third act. Like, he had, like, listen, it's not the best Scream movie, but it has some of the coolest lines of dialogue, I think, from this entire franchise. That's just like, oh shit, like, that's so cool. And both Richie and Amber both have a scene where it's just like super iconic, super like, oh, this is Scream. You know, like I feel like there's moments like that throughout that entire film that just felt like, oh, so familiar, so like well done. It was a really good time. So what else do we got down here? What else do we got? New to your channel, I just clicked that subscribe button. Love the content. Thank you so much, Bacon Pew Pew. I love your name, and I love your profile picture too. Nice. I love the Jason mask. Thank you so much for watching and joining the stream. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you like the content moving forward. So Kirby should come back and be the new lead. Ooh. See, I'm not against I'm really not against them making a familiar character the new lead in these new movies, but my thing is, if they just forget to develop Sam and Tara's character, it's like Last Jedi all over again for me. I would love for Kirby to come back and play some kind of substantial part in this next movie. Totally down for that. I'm also totally down for Gale Weathers to have a bigger part in this next movie. But if they just focus on those characters and they just completely forget to develop the new characters, we're going to hate Sam. We're going to hate like all these new characters even more than some people already do. And I would rather this next movie give us reasons to like Sam even more. Like, you know, I see a lot of people talking about how her performance was kind of flat. For the most part, I disagree, but I think it was purposeful for why they had to do it that way. But in this next movie, we should really expand her character much more. We should build on top of what the very, very small foundations we got from Scream 5. Make this movie a little more exposition heavy and almost have it be like a slow burn. Have it give us more with these characters, and then by the third act, like the horror starts to really ramp up. I'm totally down for that. I think we need to build up these new characters, or else they're going to be worse than how people think of them. You know, they're going to live up to how some people think about these new characters. I think they have potential to be great characters, but if you forget to develop them in this next movie, they're going to suck. That's just straight up how it is. So, Jake, now you are on the Stu train. How would you like Stu to return? So I have one and only way that I would be all right with Stu coming back. One and only direction this franchise could take where Stu comes back as a killer. And I think it would be cool if they bring him back to comment on how horror movies nowadays are bringing like killers back from the past, and they're like old men or women, and they're like killing people again. And it's like, it's almost kind of, there's parts of it that are almost kind of silly. So if they wanted to comment on that and like make fun of it, I think that's the strongest aspect of the Scream films, is their commentary on the horror genre. You really wouldn't have any of the sequels without that movie being so strong in that field. So let's do that. Let's have, like, if they want to bring Stu back, have it be a whole commentary on the fact of like, oh, well, they brought Michael Myers back and he's like 70 or whatever. You know what I mean? You could make a whole joke about that, I think. So if they took it that direction, that would be purposeful for me. I think bringing Stu back just to bring him back is pretty lazy writing. Honestly, to me, I'm just like, I don't know if I'd want to see that or not. So love your name, Bacon. Who doesn't love Bacon? Honestly, who doesn't love Bacon? That's a great name. Bacon Pew Pew. So Ghostface Fanatic with another super chat. Thank you so much, Ghostface Fanatic. I greatly appreciate it. What do you think about the Ghostface robe getting advancements like bulletproof and stab-proof robe? Do you like it, or are you against it? Oh, that's awesome. I mean, we're gonna get like I would love to get almost like a John Wick style Ghostface killer. Like, actually, seriously, I actually think that would be cool if you had this killer that was maybe much more advanced and much more like professional about what they're doing. In the past, we've seen a lot of like college and high school kids become killers, and there's not a whole lot they can bring to the table as serial killers. So I think it would almost be cool if you had someone who was like a professional, knew exactly what they were doing, with that in a route like that. Like they had like professional, like a bulletproof vest and all that. Cause like, it's almost like, how did Amber get that bulletproof vest? Like, was it because she went to Judy's house and it was there? Like, what? I don't know. Like, what? Please explain that. So I would love to see that. I think that would be cool. Matt, shh, don't say any more than that, Matt. It's not like I'm gonna be trying and doing something like that in Red Right Hand. Shh. No comment on that. Do you want to die tonight, Jake? You know, I would like to live for at least a couple more days, but then after that, I don't really care. You know, like, fuck it, why not?
I'm addicted to dabbing. I've had issues going out in public before.
I clicked the wrong clip. I actually, that was a total mistake. I was going to click this one.
Holy shit, it's Ghostface!
You said Ghostface voice, and I'm like, hey, that's funny. I clicked the dabbing one on accident. So here we go. KillJoy Jake dab for you. Bam! Ugh! Gotta love cool. Oh, were we... Okay, we were at... Hang on. This is an important question. Cool Ranch or nacho cheese Doritos? Listen, Cool Ranch supremacy, man. I like the nacho cheese ones, but dude, Cool Ranch is just banging. And I'm not a big ranch guy. Like, I don't like ranch IRL, but I don't know. It's banging. I watched the whole dad clip and it was super funny. Yeah. No, the dad clip is phenomenal. It's some good stuff. Those guys are hilarious. I can't, off the top of my head, I can't think of the YouTube channel that does those, like, the My Strange Addiction video, like, parody videos, but very funny stuff from them. So that was funny as fuck though. Thanks, Matt. I appreciate it. The zesty chili ones are the real goat. Yeah, like my favorite Doritos though are the ones that come in the purple bags. Are they like spicy chili or whatever? Yeah, those are like 10 out of 10 snack right there. Some good stuff. What Cody had an interesting comment. I feel like they should have shown Little John and Big John buying the Myers house and Halloween Kills like in a flashback. Would that have been purposeful though, Cody? Like, would that have done anything to further the plot? Because, like, listen, I loved one of my favorite parts of Halloween Kills was Big John and Little John. That was like the funniest thing, and they are like the cutest couple. They reminded me a lot. I have two uncles who are who are together. They're amazing. I love them so much, Joe and Charlie. And it just like was like, oh, this is just like my family. It was just like that. So absolutely love Big John and Little John. So funny. I almost wish they didn't die. Like, I almost wish they would have stayed alive. I love them so much. Ghostface Fanatic with another super chat. Oh my God, you are the real MVP here, Ghostface Fanatic. Thank you. Are you with me on the Jill is dead train? I think she is dead. I don't think she survived the paddles. If she did, she would be brain dead. This is another thing, like, similar to the Stu argument. It's just been too long. Like, what's if Jill's been alive since 2011, like she really survived that, what has she been doing? Like, you'd have to come up with some amazing plot detail that I didn't see or something about that film where it was like, oh, she's still alive this whole time. And why go that route when you can just tell a more interesting story with new characters is what I say. I love, once again, another character I love. Jill is an amazing character. But yeah, another one where I'm just like, I don't see the point in bringing her back. I love, like, Emma Roberts is amazing in Scream 4. I really do. I think she's super underrated. She gets a lot of hate for reasons I can't really explain. I think she's fantastic. She's maybe the most evil Ghostface out of all of them. Scream 4 is super underrated. I love Scream 4. Really, really fantastic flick there. Do you agree that Scream changed the horror genre in many ways? Yeah, 100%. It's one of the most influential horror films out there. I think arguably one of the most important ones too. You have Halloween and you have Scream, I think, are the two most important horror films ever made, really. And why I say that is because you have Halloween popularizing the slasher genre, which, in my opinion, is arguably the first slasher movie. I know, people are like, well, what about Psycho? What about Black Christmas? What about this and that? Halloween is the first film that had all the elements of a slasher film as we know it today, which is kind of why I credit that movie. You can argue Black Christmas, you can argue Texas Chainsaw, but like, Halloween's the movie that popularized it. Halloween is the movie that gave you like a final girl character, gave you an iconic killer, gave you visceral kills, and like that was the focus of it. It was scary because of the guy behind the mask, and I feel like you see that in a lot more films trying to copy specifically Halloween, rather than movies trying to copy like Black Christmas, trying to copy Texas Chainsaw. So like, I think all those movies that came prior to it were like all the stepping stones leading into what Halloween became. And that's why I credit it as the first slasher movie in my mind. I mean, that's very arguable though. Like, if you don't believe that, that is super arguable. Like, oh my God. But Scream is so important for maybe a similar reason, but not quite the same. It was like, horror was so just doing the same exact thing over and over and over again. It was slasher movie after slasher movie. The ones that weren't slasher movies stood out, but you really didn't have anything that was super popular anymore. That was like mainstay. Oh, we're going to come back to this every year. Like, let's hope they make another one of these. Scream was the movie that took slashers in a whole new direction yet again, which we see a lot nowadays, but Scream was kind of the first movie to take the slasher format and twist it on itself. Add in meta humor, focus much more on the character development rather than the actual killer, which is something that's so interesting to me about Scream. I really think if Scream never came out, I would not be here. Horror would not be popular like how it is today. You don't have movies like Happy Death Day. You don't have movies like Urban Legend. You don't have movies like I Know What You Did Last Summer. I'm trying to think of other, like Final Destination, that entire franchise. You don't have any of those movies without Scream, without them adding this like super obscure type of humor and super smart kind of humor to their movies, while also being really witty and smart. I really love that. That first Scream movie is unmatched in a lot of ways by like anything else that came after it. So I love it. I think it's great. My God, Ghostface Fanatic is just absolutely killing it out here. With the $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Ghostface. I don't hate Emma Roberts. She did great as Jill Roberts. Crazy last name similarity there. And Scream 4, I loved her. She was the best, but you would have to explain what she's been doing all these years and how she survived. Yeah, I totally agree, man. I just don't think that. I don't know how could you explain that? What has she been doing for all these years that no one knew she was alive? Like, I feel like if Sidney Prescott knew she was still out there and still out on the streets vibing, someone would do something about it. You know, like murder is, it's a heinous crime. It's not exactly something that's so light, you know? I don't know. To me, it's just like, I really don't think that a killer would still be out there. Unless maybe it was like, you know, if there's like a 3-month period or something, like maybe in this next movie, if they introduce a new killer and they kill him or her, then you could write it into Scream 7 where it's like, oh, this person was in hiding the whole time and they're still alive. That could be really cool. I could see that happening, and that would be a cool situation. It seems like a lot of fans want something similar to that to happen. I don't think you could do it with someone like Jill Roberts. I don't think you could do it with someone like Stu Macher. Maybe, like I said, with Stu, but I don't know. To me, it's like if they're going to bring back a character, bring back someone who's still alive, like Kirby. Bring back Joel. What about the sorority sisters from like Scream 2, Portia de Rossi or whatever? Like I'd be down to see that. So why not? Why not is what I say. Spider-Man 2002 and Scream 96 are the best films ever. My personal favorites. Nice. The first two Spider-Man, Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies are like some of the best, some of my favorite superhero movies ever. Oh my God. Maybe I'm speaking from a nostalgic lens, but I don't know. To me, like, I love the new Avengers movies. Like, they're fun, you know, they're not bad, but nothing beats those original Spider-Man movies for me. Like, Spider-Man 2 is probably my favorite superhero film ever made. I don't know, something about that, the extended cut especially. You get to see Peter Parker, like, in one of the best portrayals of the character ever, I think, from Tobey Maguire, struggling with everything he has to do, and he's like he lives this certain life where it's like, I want to be this great hero, I want to do all these things, but I don't have enough time for myself, and it's so relatable. It makes so much sense. I love it. Both the first two Spider-Man movies are amazing. For me, that's the same logic as Stu. If he's been in prison or something this whole time, would the main cast know about that? I just don't think so. You know, I don't know. I don't know, man. I just don't think it'll happen. How many more of these movies do you think Radio Silence will do? I see it being a trilogy. I mean, obviously Scream 7 isn't announced, and I don't think they'll announce it until Scream 6 comes out. I really don't think so. Why I say that is because I think they have something planned. Like, I feel like... One second. Oh my God, my... Woo! Your boy's a little sick. Your boy's a little under the weather if you're just joining the stream. I feel like for me, I feel like with Scream 5, that was kind of like their ticket in. Radio Silence had to impress Scream fans. They had to be like, oh, we got to do things that people are familiar with in this franchise. We got to also show just a little tiny bit of differences, deviations, and things we wanted to see in this franchise that we never got to see. And in a lot of ways, Scream 5 is that. Is it the best script ever? No. Does it have the best characters in the entire franchise? I don't know. But to me, what Scream 5 was their ticket into this franchise. Now with Scream 6 and with a possible Scream 7, they can kind of do whatever they want. So I really think that they should do, like, just don't announce 7, have the ending of Scream 6 be some kind of cliffhanger, because I'll tell you what, Scream 7's probably already greenlit. Let's be honest. That first movie made a shit ton of money for a slasher flick. Maybe, I could be wrong about this. I doubt I am, but it's probably the highest grossing 5th movie in a slasher franchise of all time. It has to be. Come on. Like, if it's not, I would be shocked. So to me, it just seems like they have something crazy planned for 6 leading into a possible 7. That's not confirmed at this time, but maybe that's why they're not confirming Scream 7. I mean, remember when Jurassic World came out and they announced that, oh yeah, it's going to be a whole trilogy. Like Jurassic World, that happened with that. That happened with a lot of these like requels and new movies. So I seriously think it's going to be a trilogy with Radio Silence. And then maybe in the future we get someone else doing a Scream movie. I don't see them ever stopping these movies, even without like Sidney Prescott, the legacy characters. There's always going to be something to comment on in the horror genre as long as it's not dead. So why stop making Scream films is what I say. Ghostface Fanatic with yet another super check. Thank you so much. That's amazing. Thank you so much, man. So in your opinion, who would win in a fight, Norman Bates or Billy Loomis? Oh, see, that's really tough because I'm gonna go with Billy Loomis, just because I feel like even though, yeah, Billy Loomis is super psychotic and insane, but I feel like, oddly enough, I feel like Billy Loomis is almost more mentally stable than Norman Bates is. Like, Norman Bates had a lot going on in his life, some really not so great things from his early childhood. So I feel like he would probably lose that fight if they had to fight for whatever reason. I just don't know. That's just my opinion. I also feel like Billy Loomis in his prime from 96, like, probably could take down Norman Bates, who is an older guy. So we need to go until midnight. Listen, Craven is insane with his streams. I don't understand how that guy can go till 4 a.m. and just be totally fine. I'm gonna go till probably 7:30 because we're doing a Kickstarter stream for the people who supported us at a certain tier for the Kickstarter tonight. We're doing like a little Q&A about Red Right Hand. So if you are on our Discord page and you supported us at whatever that tier was, I can't think of what it was off the top of my head. Matt could probably tell you a little bit about that. So Matt, if you want to hit me with that, there you go. Well, I can't remember what tier it was or how to access it on Discord. So hit me up with that info there, Mr. Matt. Ghostface would kill Spider-Man because Ghostface would be married. I don't even know what to say to that. I'm confused as it's okay, so it's 23:17 in the UK, so 11:17. Yeah, no, it is 6:17 here in the good old boring state of Ohio. So there you go. There you go. Yeah, I do not like living in Ohio. It is it's a 1 out of 10. That's there is not a whole lot going on here. Also, I would love to start going to early screeners of movies, but there's just nothing. Like, the closest thing is like Indianapolis and Cincinnati, which I am like 3 hours from Cincinnati and 5 hours from Indianapolis, living in Cleveland. So like, I can't really go to early screeners for movies, which sucks. I would love to. So if you donated 25 or more and join our Discord server, you can participate in our live Q&A. So there you go. Yeah, at 7:30 tonight, we'll be doing that. So make sure to check that out. Fate Decided is in the chat. What's going on, Fate? Move to me, Jake. I should move out to Las Vegas. That'd be great. Honestly, I was thinking about going out west somewhere. It's weird. I have a bunch of buddies moving all around the world now. One of my best friends is moving to Boston next month, which I'm super excited for him, but I'm totally gonna miss him. And honestly, there's a part of me that's like, I would love to move out there with you, but Boston is so expensive. And my other buddy is moving to DC. So it's just like, both of those places are so expensive to live. Listen, and McDonald's employee is making more money than what I make right now. I just can't I can't do that. You know what I mean? I would love to, but just can't. Comment come to the Bay Area, Jake. The Bay, we fresh. At Subway, eat fresh. Not sponsored. I would love to go to the Bay Area. Gorgeous out there. Some gorgeous things out. I would love to live somewhere that's nice, but your boy's broke. Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness was amazing. Just saw it 20 minutes ago. I totally recommend. Yes, if you hate the MCU, I understand that. But if you like Sam Raimi, go see Doctor Strange. Holy damn. That movie was banging. Anthony Perkins Psycho. Is that what you're... first of all, Ghostface Fanatic, thank you so much for the super chat. Is that what you were saying? That's who you think would win? For Norman Bates versus Billy Loomis, you think Norman Bates would win? I can see it, man. I mean, like, there's an argument there. I can totally see that. Ghostface Fanatic, first of all, thank you for all the super chats, man. I really appreciate it. I want to give you this as a little something special.
Holy shit, it's Ghostface!
There we go. I do that all the time, but you know what? It was special. It was just for you, Ghostface Fanatic. Just for you. Thank you so much. Nissan R34 says, Jake, where's Hank in all this? He was never held accountable for his affair by Billy or Mrs. Loomis. Maybe Sam could kill him for starting all this. I could see him possibly playing an involvement in this next movie, but once again, I feel like we don't need to call back to the original, even if there is some loose ends like that, for example, that we haven't really talked about. But like Hank Loomis was in that first movie, so it's such a small aspect of these films. It would be like if it would be like if we brought back like Angelina or something from Scream 3, who was never revealed to be the second killer in Scream 3, but like heavily implied. Like, do we need a whole movie explaining that? I just don't think so. I don't know if we need an entire movie talking about that. Once again, I'm on this kick where I'm like, I want to see something completely original from Scream 6. And what I mean by that is I really think there's a lot of good stories to tell in this whole timeline, in this franchise, that doesn't have to connect to something from the past. I don't think it does. There's so many good ideas that you can play around with murder mystery, and I pitched some of my thoughts on it. I would love to see like Cult of Ghostface is something that would be so original and different, like just a cult vibe with one of these movies. That could be something really cool and something fun to explore. We don't have to do the same thing every single time. We don't have to call back to that original movie with every single film. I think that original film's great, and it's amazing. Pay homage to it when you can, but don't make your entire plot about that. I think that's the big thing for me. Ghostface straight up stalked Sydney and Tatum inside a grocery store without anyone noticing. He is not normal. Yeah, that's kind of a weird aspect of that original movie. Something I forget about a lot. Like, no one questioned a guy in costume just walking around in there. That's so funny. I am digging the Strangers theory. I'm hooked on that now. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about that. I'm gonna expand upon it in my video tomorrow, talking a little bit about that. I really think that would be sweet. Like, how messed up would that be for it just to be like, oh my god, like they're just putting on the killer robe for that reason. There's so many different angles they could take a Ghostface killer. I think personally, it doesn't always have to be revenge. It doesn't always have to be like, we want to make a new Stab movie. So there are different ways you can take it. Even though, like, I see why in that last film they made it all about the Stab movies again. It's familiar. It's something where it's like, okay, hey, this is cool. It's like it's a really fucked up reason to start killing people, and I think it's justified by the whole toxic fandom commentary, which is cool to me. I like that. But I would like to start seeing something a little crazier, a little different, moving forward with the franchise. So, wish we could collab on that video because I want to piggyback on that theory because I love it. Well, Carrie, we'll have to get on a stream. We'll have to get on a stream together and talk motives, because I have so many different routes they could take with motives like that they could do. Like, what about, I think I've talked about this on a stream with somebody else before, but like, what about a killer who's like trying to end the Ghostface killings? Like someone who has kind of good intentions with their motive. It's not something that it's like selfish revenge. It's not something where it's like, ooh, I'm so evil, you know, lemon scented evil and all that. I want to see a Ghostface who almost has like a Thanos-esque motive. And the only reason I say Thanos and is because like that's the most popular villain, I should say, where it's like, so, oh my God, my camera is still on. How long has, oh my God, how long has that been on? Interesting. My God. The camera I record videos with, I just noticed was still on. That's probably been on for like 2 days. Sweet. Nice. That's always fun. Where I was going with that though is like, I would love to see a Ghostface killer who has like a really positive motive, but goes about it the wrong way. Like Thanos wanted to better the world. You know what I mean? In a weird sort of way, if you're familiar with the Marvel movies. And he just goes about it in a super evil and chaotic way. I would love to see a Ghostface killer with those same intentions. Like maybe he's trying to kill Sidney, Gale, all the remaining survivors so no one else takes up the Ghostface mantle and starts killing people again and drags more people into it. That could be a really, I'd be so down for that. That's such a cool movie. Ghostface Fanatic with yet another super chat. Ghostface, you are absolutely killing it tonight. Thank you so much. Thank you. I think that Roman was in Scream 96 in the grocery store scene, and the scene where he was stalking Sidney and Tatum, in my opinion, don't think it's impossible. I honestly don't think you can make an argument for that 100%. I think you could. Roman had to be involved with that original movie, maybe a little more than what we know about it, I think. So I can totally see that being the case. I think I just got a Discord notification. I just heard Discord noises, and I'm like, what was that? That's funny. What's going on? Uncommon Gull 251. What's going on? Hey, Jake, do you think Scream 6 could have family ties in Scream 2? Maybe Stu's sister wants revenge for Vince's death and blames Sam for some reason. Here's the thing, if they do the family ties thing, you just got to do it in a way that isn't the exact same thing as Scream 2. Because we're going to, at this point, if they're probably going to call the movie something like Scream 2, but 2023. They're probably going to call it something like something along those lines. It's going to be something where it's like, it's going to be undeniable to miss that this movie is very similar to Scream 2. I don't want to see a movie where it's just the exact same thing as Scream 2 again. I really want to see them do something different. There was a lot of moments in Scream 5 where I'm like, okay, this is kind of modernizing a scene from Scream 96. I don't know. I feel like there's no way you can do the family ties thing in this next film without me just being unable to say like, wow, this is Scream 2. You know what I mean? Like if you make a movie where you have two people tied up in a room together and they have to solve some kind of riddle in a couple of hours to get out of this room or they're going to die, what's the only you're watching that movie and you're just going to be like, well, this is Saw. You know what I mean? It's the same thing for me. I just don't want to, I wouldn't want to see that personally. I think, and that's the only reason why, because the comparison would be way too heavy. So Craven something scary with the $10 super chat. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. Still riding the high from our epic party stream Friday night. Don't forget to kill it. Thank you so much, Craven. Thank you. Just for you, I will give you a stew. Woo! Stew train, baby. Just for you. Just for you, man. Me and Craven and all the other people in the Guilty Pleasure Movie Club had an amazing time Friday night moving into Saturday morning, and I am still paying for it. Not only am I sick, but yeah, wow, that was a crazy night. That's all I'm gonna say. So a lot of fun, some good times with Mr. Craven. That stream was just untouchable. Yeah. I wish we could have gotten more out of the character of Roman. Yeah. I'll say, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think the third act to Scream 3 is incredibly underrated. I think it's one of my favorite parts of the entire franchise, honestly. And the more I watch that movie, the more I really start to like it. I think that there's some questionable choices in that movie that I'm not the biggest fan of, that really take me out of it. But I think it's that the twist is really elaborate and really cool. It grew on me, I guess. I didn't love it at first, but the more I watch it, the more I'm like, you know what? This is pretty damn cool. I don't know about any other horror franchises that have done some kind of convoluted twist like this. I almost kind of wish that Scream 3 and Scream 2 had mixed together in a sense. Like the ending of Scream 2 could have been something along the lines of like, oh, I was part of the original killings the whole time. And you could have had Roman be the killer in that movie or something. I don't know. To me, there's so many aspects that if you can mix Scream 2 and 3 into this perfect sequel movie is how I see it. And you could have the perfect Scream sequel in a lot of ways. But there's just so many missed opportunities in both those films that it's just like, oh man, you mesh the certain ideas from both of those together though. You have the best Scream sequel ever made, I think. With family ties, something people would love to see more of in this franchise. Surprisingly, but there you go. That could happen. Using Stu's sister, the character whose name dropped like once, sounds like a terrible idea and a massive stretch. Sounds like something that would. Matt's very cynical. If you guys have not caught on to that yet, I love him, but he's a little cynical. But yeah, I try not to be too cynical these days. But I don't know. To me, I just don't want to see Stu's sister be the mastermind killer or something, and come after Sam and all that, because it's just like that's all I'd be thinking about is like, okay, you just did Scream 2 again, great job, awesome. You didn't come up with anything original, and honestly, I don't think Radio Silence would do that. There's some of my favorite upcoming horror movie directors, and the shit they come up with is awesome. I think it's just they're really creative, and I would love to see them express that creativity in this next movie, where they really only did that in flashes in Scream 5. I would like to see a lot more of that with the next one. So Ghostface Fanatic with another super chat. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. The reason why I think it was Roman in both of those scenes is because Billy and Stu would have had enough time, and Stu was getting ready for the party, so they would have had enough time. I see this is where I totally agree with you. I think they had to have had some help, because at the end of the day, they are just some dumb high school kids who just went crazy, decided to do what they did. I don't know. To me, That makes a lot of sense. I actually really like that idea. It seemed like Roman had more involvement than we might have thought with a lot of the things he gave us in Scream 3. So I totally see that. Ghostface Fanatic, you were just absolutely killing it tonight with the super chats, by the way. I greatly appreciate it, man. Thank you guys, everybody, for everything. Thank you. Thank you. Leslie is Stu's pawn. Anything can happen, man. Anything can happen. So, rather have Vince Vaughn than his sister. Honestly, I'd love to see Vince Vaughn in this next movie. He was great in Freaky as the most recent thing that I saw him. The girl from Freaky, I could totally see being in this next movie. Yet another film from the amazing Christopher Landon that I feel like would totally work with, what I'm saying is taking cast members from that movie and Happy Death Day, putting them into this next film. Catherine Newton from Freaky. She's also in Paranormal Activity 4, a super underrated sequel, by the way. Paranormal Activity 4 is so underrated because of her, especially. Really scary movie. I love it. She's fantastic. I would love to have her play some kind of role in this next film alongside maybe the guy Israel Boussard. There we go. That's his name. I could totally see them playing some kind of role in this next film. They're just the right age range too, I feel, to play college kids. Paranormal Activity 4 is one of my faves. Yeah, so underrated. The first time I watched it, I kind of didn't love it, but the more I watch it, I'm like, this is maybe one of my favorite Paranormal Activity movies. I don't know what it is about that film, but it just grows on you. The characters are really well done, and the scares hit, man. I don't know. I love it. I really like that film. I wish they would have continued that story, but the next movie in the Paranormal Activity franchise, is kind of like a total side story, which I do like. It's the one before Ghost Dimension. I can't remember it, but I really like that film. Really well done. Yeah, the Xbox, the Connect dots. That's super original. What an idea for a way to see the ghosts and all that. Makes for a really good scare later on in the movie. I think it's really well done. So. The writer of Freaky should write Scream 7. Yeah, I could see it. What's his name? Michael something? I can't remember his name. I know Christopher Landon directed those movies, like Happy Death Day. And, oh my God. Whew. Like Happy Death Day and Freaky. That's Christopher Landon who directed those. I'm almost kind of shocked that they didn't have Christopher Landon do the new Scream movies. Not that I don't love Radio Silence. That they're a great choice, but I almost feel like his style would have worked a little more with a new Scream movie. So I'm almost kind of surprised they didn't ask him to do that, especially with how successful the first Happy Death Day was specifically. I'm kind of shocked they didn't have him do it. I guess the other thing about that though is Christopher Landon is pretty exclusive to Blumhouse, so that's probably why that didn't happen. But I don't know, man. His style is so well done. It's so well not well. It's great. I love it, but it's so similar to the Scream movies. Imagine what him directing a Scream movie would look like. I'd want to see that. I would love to see that, honestly. But yeah, Marked Ones is the one I was talking about, Carrie. Yeah. So I really liked Marked Ones. Ghost Dimension is like the most disappointing. That's like Game of Thrones season 8 level of disappointing ending to a long going story. And now the Paranormal Activity franchise is just kind of like it's kind of just like an anthology series now, with Cody mentioning Next of Kin. I loved Next of Kin, but it's not a Paranormal Activity movie. Like, it feels like if you like the VHS movies, like VHS 1, 2, Viral, VHS 94, which I'm constantly talking about on this page, if you really like those movies, you'll love Paranormal Activity Next of Kin. But if you love specifically the Paranormal Activity movies, Next of Kin is nothing like those movies. Like, there's a few moments sort of like those films, but Next of Kin was much more like a I'm trying to even, it's tough to explain because it's like it doesn't feel like it even fits in that universe. It kind of wraps up some loose ends from the franchise in a really weird and obscure sort of way. I'm always talking about how I love when movies don't give you enough like information. You kind of have to figure it out for your own. But this is a case where they didn't give me enough information. Like you gotta give me like a little tidbit of something based off of stuff from the past to go off of. But with Next of Kin, it was like they didn't give you enough. They didn't explain it quite enough. They name dropped the wrong demon too, so I'm pretty sure it's not what a lot of us are speculating about the film. Which it's kind of hard to explain if you've never seen Next of Kin, but it's weird, man. I still really liked it. I would still recommend it for like just as a straight up found footage flick. It's great, but as a Paranormal Activity movie, it doesn't quite meet the bar. Doesn't quite do that for me. I'd love to see a Ghostface who's so broken and psychotic that they would be laughing and crying at the same time when they reveal themselves, like their emotions are just all over the place. I could see something along those lines. Something where it's like they're just super crazy. Maybe they kind of like go back and forth with their their emotions, you know? That could be interesting. I could see something like that. I'd love to see Jake do the stew dance. Listen, today is not the day for dancing. Although, like, I'm always down for a little bit of this and that. When things get like quiet or something, I always just like to start dancing. It's always a good time. People are like, "Why is that dude dancing?" You know, that's just funny. I wish could have gotten Evil Dead season 4. Me too, man. Me too, Ashy Slashy. That was like the best horror TV show ever. I loved that. I loved that show. I might rewatch the whole thing. Honestly, I've been thinking about it a lot lately. And Evil Dead. I want to rewatch Evil Dead. Matt literally just texted me the other day. He's like, dude, after seeing Doctor Strange, I want to rewatch Evil Dead. I'm like, yes, 100%. Ghostface Fanatic with another super chat. Thank you, sir. I think that Scream 3 is so underrated. The real reason why it's hated on is because people thought there was only one killer, but really there was two and just got to read between the lines. So you make some good points here, Ghostface Fanatic. I think why people don't love it is because tonally, it's super, super different. It just goes all the way down that cheeseball tone area. I don't even know what I'm saying. Like, it gets way more cheesier. It's almost like a PG-13 Scooby-Doo version of Scream in a lot of ways. I think the overall story is cool and the twist is really well done, but there's some, like, it's just not, it's so goofy. It's so silly. It's so over the top in ways that totally take the realism out of Scream. And, you know, I say that and some people are like, well, it's a slasher flick. How is any of this realistic? It's compared to Jason coming back every single sequel and being a different age, looking completely different. The Scream movies are much more rooted in reality than any other slasher franchise. And this is the only movie in the entire franchise that totally breaks that and just totally goes full on cornball, silly, goofy style. So it's why, like, it's one of those things where if you only watch it one time, you'll probably hate it if you're a fan of the franchise. But the more I watch it, the more I've come to like it and appreciate it. But it is definitely something that's, like, tone-wise, something I feel like nobody really wanted it to go in that direction. Scream always needed to get darker with the sequels is how I feel about it. And they, with Screams 2 and 3 get, like, goofier and cornier with each sequel, I feel. And then, like, 4 gets darker, which is cool. And then 5 is probably the darkest of all the sequels in a lot of ways. But I see what you're saying about that too. It's almost kind of disappointing to not have that signature with the two ghost faces, because it's like that's kind of like it's almost disappointing in a way. That's what was so cool about that original Scream. You were looking for one person, it ended up being two people. So I can see that being a disappointing aspect to it. It's a twist upon a twist. So you kind of knew it was Billy the whole time, but Stu was the person where it was like, oh, I didn't see that coming. That's cool. Didn't think it would be Stu. I think on rewatch though, like, and I'm sure some people caught this the first time, when Stu and Billy are, like, bullying Randy at the video store, that makes it so obvious that it's Stu and Billy. I think if you had never seen, like, any Scream movie before and that was your first time watching it, you didn't know who the killers were, Stu might have been a good twist, but they should have made it so obvious in that scene. I mean, wow. Like, Stu is, like, he's got some psycho killer vibes written all over him in that scene especially. But I do love the video store scene. It's iconic. It's iconic. It's amazing. I just think Stu gets a little too crazy in that scene. Get off the Stu train. Like I said, JJ, I'm only sitting in the caboose. I'm only if they take it that route where I'm like, where it's some kind of cool commentary on the state of horror. That's the only route I'm going to be okay with them doing it. If they just bring back dead characters because they're, like, out of ideas, they're out of ideas, and I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. So. That's why I was shocked that Scary Movie didn't parody anything from Scream 3, because that was the more goofier Scream movie. Yeah, there's another thing right there. Scary Movie is like a parody of Scream, a parody of a lot of horror films from, like, the late 90s. I just feel like it's like Scream 3 is almost as goofy as Scary Movie in a lot of ways. That's another thing for me. But like I said, it's kind of grown on me. It actually has a pretty damn good written story, but there's just so many, like, the house exploding is so over the top. It just, how would you if you're the Ghostface killer, how do you set that up and how does that work? Like, what? I don't know. Craven, thank you so much for the super chats, man. You didn't have to do anything, but you didn't have to do that, but I really appreciate it. Got to get back to the family, but wanted to stay for as long as possible. Congrats again on 10K subs, and I'll see you tomorrow on the Lethal Collective. PS Stu lives. Get it up! Thank you so much, Craven. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. Thanks for being a good friend and always having me on your crazy live streams. So I appreciate that, man. Sorry I'm late. You're all good. You probably be ending the stream soon. I'm probably gonna go till 7:30 is what I'm thinking, and then I'm doing something on Discord. So if you were a Kickstarter supporter at $25 or more and you joined the Kickstarter, or if you joined the Discord for Trigger Mortis Productions, come on in, say hi, ask some questions about Red Right Hand. I'll be answering any and all of those questions tonight on the Discord. If you supported the Kickstarter and all that, so come on in and say hey. I hope they bring chase scenes back for Scream 6, says Nick. Yeah, the great Alfred Hitchcock had said something along the lines of, you need to build up tension. And he probably never said, he maybe have said that once in his life, but, like, Alfred Hitchcock was so good at, like, building tension to a scare. Everyone just wants to get to the jump, and everyone wants to get to that point, but it's not going to hit as hard if you don't build it up, if you don't leave your audience in suspense of that possibly happening at some point. And in a lot of ways, Scream 5 doesn't really do that. Scream 5 kind of was just like, oh, jump scare. You know what I mean? It was just like, well, holy crap. Oh, Ghostface just came out of nowhere. And there was a lot of shocks in that film. There's a lot of good moments like that. I think one of the best buildups in that entire movie, and maybe across the entire franchise, was the Amber reveal of her shooting Liv in the face. That was awesome. I just wish it wasn't a gun kill. But great sequence altogether, though. And chase scenes do that, I guess, is the point I'm trying to make. Chase scenes build that suspense up for a possible kill towards the end. That's always great to see. So, what do you think about the title of Scream 6 being called Blackmore? That could be Sam's stepdad, last name. So how do you feel about that title? So I know, I believe it was Guy Busick or one of the, maybe Chad Villella, one of the Radio Silence guys or the writers for the new film. Thank you for the super chat, by the way, Ghostface Fanatic. I really appreciate that. I know they had said that Blackmore was like the made up name for Billy Loomis, John Blackmore. So that's why the working title for this next one is John Blackmore, I guess. That worries me because it's like, are they going to make this next film all about Billy Loomis again? Is that what's happening here? I hope not. I really hope not. I hope it focuses much more on the character of Sam. If they want to introduce her mom for some reason, cool. Like, yeah, make that a big plot point, sure. But they got to do it in a way that makes sense, that feels natural, that adds something to the overall story and Sam's character development. That's something that's so important with this next movie for me. If they don't develop her character, I'm not gonna care if she either lives or dies or wins at the end, you know. And they kind of did that a little bit in Scream 5, and that was maybe the best character development of the whole movie. The scenes with her and Tara, but I need some more now after all of this has happened. So now that now that Sam and Tara, the Meeks twins, they have been through this together. They have been through this super horrible experience together. I want to see them like really connect and like bond over that connection. There's that phrase that goes something along the lines of like, oh, when you experience trauma together, like trauma is the thing that brings people together the most, which is like a horrible thing to say, but it's also very true and scary because of that. So I would like to see all these characters really meshing together, being closer for that reason. And having more, like, we didn't get a whole lot of character development between, like, what's the relationship like between Chad and Sam? What's the relationship like between Sam and Mindy? We barely got conversations between those two characters. I'd love to see that in this next film. We know little things about, like, how there was little name drops things here and there from like Chad saying like, oh, Sam was the best babysitter ever. You know, she was awesome. But I want more conversation. You don't have to straight up tell me to my face. Like, you don't have to look into the camera and be like, hi, I'm the character of Chad and I really like the character of Sam. Like, you can do that with them just having a conversation together. And like, if they're having a conversation where it's just like, hey, fuck you, Sam. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to know from that point on, oh, Chad doesn't like Sam, and maybe Sam still likes Chad for whatever reason. Or that's just an example. I don't think that's actually how they feel about each other, but just give us a conversation. You don't have to openly explain how these characters feel about one another. I think if you just show that to us with a conversation, that's all we need. That's all we need. You can take a lot of things from that conversation. If it was like, oh, hey, what's up, Sam? Oh, holy crap, what's up? I haven't seen you in years. You know, it's been so long. Like, that shows, hey, they have a friendly relationship with each other. They like each other. Develop that a little more in this next film. I really hope they put a focus on that in Scream 6. Something I'm concerned about that they just, you know, I'm sure with this last movie being so successful, Radio Silence is thinking to themselves, well, hey, that was so successful, and whenever we didn't know what to do with something, we just were like, what would Wes Craven do? I hope for this next film they're asking themselves, what would Radio Silence do in this case, in this scenario? So be confident. You guys made a movie that grossed a shit ton of money at the box office. Make a movie that you would want to see. Make a movie that you would want to see. I love Wes Craven. He's an amazing director, but these guys are not Wes Craven. So do your own thing, and that is ultimately going to turn out a better product, I think. I will preach that until the day I die. I know, I say it a lot, but my God, I'm so concerned about that. I'm so concerned that's not the route that they're going to take with this next film. And yeah, I'm a little concerned. I am a little concerned about it. Whew. Talking when you're sick is much harder when you're talking when you're not sick. I will say that. What's scarier about Ghostface chase scenes is that Ghostface actually runs and doesn't just walk slow like Michael or Jason. You know, in a lot of ways, though, slow walking can be scary, though. You know, like if someone is so confident that they're going to kill you that they're just slowly walking towards you, that's something about that is kind of scary. But I will say, like, that's why I think so many people really like running zombies and like running like Leatherface coming out of that the sliding metal door with the chainsaw and running after people. Like, that's scary. You know, that's horrifying. But I think both aspects have something that's really scary about them. So it's arguable. It Follows. Yeah, that's a great example. That is one of the scariest movies from the 2010s in my opinion. And like that because of the slow walk, like you have this thing constantly coming after you no matter where you go. And in a lot of ways, that's almost scarier than someone just running at you. You know, it's kind of it's the same thought principle behind the chase scene, I would say, is like, if you don't build that up, you just have the kill. It's not as scary as if there was like a long, suspenseful wait to get there, and then bam, you just get a jump scare. Bam, you get something crazy like that. You're like, bam, scare, just like that. That's scarier than if you were just to give me the bam, is what I'm saying. So, oh my God, Ghostface Fanatic with a $20 super chat. Thank you, man. Oh my God, thank you so much. Wow. Would you be afraid to get chased by Ghostface, or would you just say it's not a big deal? I would be pissing my pants scared. Like, listen, I talk a lot of, I kind of like, I love horror movies. I love them, but I would not survive through one. Like, even with all the horror movies I've seen, I would still probably be the first one killed 100%. I would be horrified in that situation. No, I'm a big baby 100%. Like, I'd be pissing my pants. So, nope. Would not do that, Ghostface Fanatic. I think that's what's so scary about the whole idea of a horror movie, is it's like when you watch an action film and it's like two people who are skilled and they're fighting each other. In a lot of ways, you can compare that to a horror movie, but the reason you're not scared watching it, and the reason you don't get scared watching like a John Wick film, for instance, is because it's like two trained people fighting each other and it's going to go back and forth. You're watching it for the action and the drama, and that's awesome. But why you feel scared watching a horror movie is because it's a person like me who has never had any experience fighting somebody, getting attacked by somebody who does have that experience and is a dominant figure in this situation, and it's horrifying. It's someone who has their life in your hands, and if you don't get away from them, you're going to die. Like, that's, your entire life is over after all this. So it's scary, man. It's a super scary idea. And that's why we feel terror in these situations. So 100% I'd be terrified out of my mind. Yeah, that would make my stomach drop, dude. No way. Do you think the two different ghost faces should have distinguishably different masks? And to which I say yes. You know what we've never seen in a Scream film, even though in like literally every film, and yes, I said literally every film, we've had two ghost faces. There's never two ghost faces killing one person at the same time. What's better than one slasher killer? Two is what I say. So I would love to have two different killers. Maybe they're wearing different masks. I remember when they teased the metal ghost face mask. I'm like, no way, they're finally doing mask variants. And they didn't really do the mask variants in Scream 5. I'm like, you got to have regular Ghostface. You know, you got to do that. But y'all, like, why not play around with some of these other ones? The Dead by Daylight masks are so cool. Like, there's so many different variations of that kind of mask. I would love to see some of that play into the new Scream film. So whatever they do with Scream 6, I just hope it's something, like, even if it's not the craziest idea, I just hope it's something I've never seen before in this franchise. That's so important to me. Like, if it's college kids talking about how, oh man, you know, we're in film college, we're taking film classes, and we're talking about how, oh, this horrible thing happened last year with the Ghostface killing, and we find out, oh, it's Richie's mother or Stu's sister that was the killer, getting revenge for what happened in the last movie. It's just like, dude, you just took the Scream 2 script and you just kind of like crossed out the names, and you're like putting Sam in the Sydney role, putting Leslie Mocker in the Debbie Salt role. I don't know. I just want to see something really different. So yes, technically, Dino, but it wasn't two ghost faces at the same. Like, here's what I'm imagining when I say that. I'm imagining like someone getting cornered in their own house by two killers walking in with a knife, slowly approaching this person and like stabbing and killing her to death, both at the same time. That is so scary to me. Like, that's almost scarier than what that's like. It's like the fear of getting chased by like a horde of zombies. Like, that's scarier to me than if just one zombie was coming after you. So I don't know. To me, I just think that would be awesome. You can always start off the movie knowing who one of the killers are. So to me, they'd have to do this. They'd have to do this right, because if you reveal one of the killers at the very beginning of the movie, it might be a little too obvious to find out who the other one is. But if they do it in a way where it's like, this killer was closely related or connected to like all of the other cast members, it could be anyone. So that could be really interesting, an approach. You'd have to write that a certain way though. You'd have to write that in a way where it's like, oh yeah, this has got to be one way, this has got to be another thing. So really, really complicated script there, but it could be done. It could 100% be done. It could be done in a very original aspect. I think it would be sweet. Yo, Jake, what's good, my boy? What's going on? What is up? 420? I like that. I like that a lot. That's cool. Uh-oh. Spoiler alert. Yeah, I already told you guys that. Yeah. But that's the thing. Like, Red Right Hand is all about knowing the killer's perspective. So you're going to have to know who the killers are. So yeah. Me and my brother will play the killers in Red Right Hand, and there's still a mystery we gotta figure out though. So it's still gonna be a murder mystery, baby. That's the best part about it. Is even though you know who the killers are, it's like, oh shit, there's still something, they gotta figure out something or they're gonna be totally screwed. Ghostface says, what's up? What's up? What's up? I can't miss an opportunity to throw that clip out there. That's iconic. It's great. I will say, it is a little sad that a lot of people know Ghostface from Scary Movie and not from Scream. It's a little disappointing, but it's just the way the world works, unfortunately. Ghostface fanatic, holy crap, man. You're going off. I love it. Holy crap, thank you. So if you were given $4,000, who would you not want to face, Michael or Jason? So like $4,000, you gotta be chased by one of these guys. I'm gonna go with Michael because I feel like even though we've seen him do a lot more creative kills in these last couple of films, for the most part, Michael's pretty tame with his murders, except for in Halloween Kills and like Rob Zombie Halloween. Like if this was like Michael Myers from like the original Halloween, honestly, I could outrun him. You know, I could get away. Probably. Who knows? Hopefully. Jason's like, he's really creative with a lot of his kills. He can find a lot of ways to kill you. So thank you for all the super chats, Ghostface Fanatic. I really appreciate it. You're the MVP of this stream. Thank you. You're on fire, Ghostface Fanatic. Absolutely on fire. Wayne Turner says, sadly got to go. Thanks for having me, Jake, and those in the chat. Always fun. Enjoy and bye all. Thank you so much for stopping by, Wayne. Always a good time. Always a good time having you. Will I reference Scream and Red? There is so much meta commentary. Not so much. There's just the right. I feel like there's just the right amount of meta commentary. Just enough to where it's like, it's not too much, and it's also not like, you know, it's not like fourth wall breaking where I'm gonna look right at the camera and be like, this is just like Scream '96. It's all like implied stuff in the background. We have a lot of, we're doing a lot of really funny things we were talking about last night. Yes, there are many references to Scream and Red Right Hand. Some of my favorite parts of that film will be referenced, and I even told like Andrew Oliver is doing the cinematography for our movie. He's amazing. If you guys have not seen his short film, The Camp, it is like the cinematography in that movie is just gorgeous. He also did he shot the Alien movie I was in as well. He does such a good job with his cinematography. But I told him like how I want our movie to be shot is like how that original film is. Like it's not. That movie is just shot in a way that none of the other films really are. You get to see these super like wide shots of the scenery. It almost plays a character in itself. And that was something that's really important to me for this film. I want to see the landscape. I want to see like gorgeous shots of the only time when Ohio is beautiful, which is the summertime. Every other time it looks like a ghost town and it's terrifying here. But in the summertime, it does get cool. It gets pretty cool. So yes, Dr. Pepper, Dark Berry, by the way, is fucking banging. I don't know if you guys have had this or not, but holy shit, banging stuff there. Do you think Sam will be Ghostface in Scream 6? Like, I don't know, man. I talk about this a lot, and I'm just like, I don't know if I'd want to see that. It seems like a lot of wasted character potential. So, I don't want to. For me, I want to see new people play killers, people who are not related to anyone from the past. So, hopefully we see something where it's like just, oh shit, like this is a shock. Like you did not see this person being the killer this time around. That's so cool. Yeah, I agree, Extron. Like Scream doesn't get the credit it deserves because of because of Scary. Like Scary Movie's funny, you know, it's a movie, but I think like yeah, you kind of disparage Scream in a lot of ways by accrediting the Ghostface killer to those movies. Like I had buddies that when I was working at Chipotle who were like, "Oh, I've never seen Scream, but I've seen Scary Movie," and it's just like, come on, like, dude, I don't know. Like it's funny, you know, it's good, but Scream's the real banger here. So, oh shit. All right, well, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I want to prepare for the stream with the Kickstarter supporters, so I'm probably gonna cut out a little early, unless if we get like a $10 super chat, I'll keep it going for another like 10-15 minutes. So, but I'm kind of getting tired. I don't want to be completely out of it by the time I get to that. So. Okay, well, there we go. Holy crap. Ghostface Fanatic coming in with a $20 super chat. Let's go. Man's killing it tonight. This will be the last one of the night for me, but how do you feel about the Hellraiser versus Michael Myers getting canceled? And do you think it should have been because it don't make sense? I mean, like, does it not make sense or does it, I don't know. I mean, I could see that working, that fight going on. I feel like the Cenobites win all day against Michael Myers. They could just throw him into their their dimension and all that. But yeah, I don't know, man. I could see that movie happening, I guess. I think it would be fun. Freddy versus Jason is such a crazy fun movie. I love it. I think it's so insane. But yeah. I would love to see more versus movies. I would love to see, you know, I know I've been kind of talking about how like I want the Scream franchise to get darker, but I'm totally down with some more silly horror films, like some more original ones that are like get crazier in their tone, get crazier in certain things. So I do like that. And Hellraiser versus Michael sounds like it would be that kind of thing. Once again, Ghostface Fanatic being the real MVP of the stream. Thank you so much. Absolutely killing it tonight. Greatly appreciate all the super chats. So thank you so much. I tried to watch Scary Movie. I hated it. Yeah, like it's also that's another movie where it's like not for everyone. Very specific kind of humor in all those films. And like for me, I really like Scary Movie 1 and the third one, but like and two's not the worst, but the rest of them are like eh. And there's like a bunch of other ones in that are like very similar, like parody movies like that, like Date Night Movie or the Date Movie or something like that. Like there's like Epic Movie. I'm trying to think of all those that are like in the same vein, and they're all just like it's all the same kind of humor. So peace out, Jordan. Thank you so much. Thanks for stopping by the stream. It's been a pleasure hanging out with you all tonight, by the way. So we're gonna go for another 10 minutes or so, and then I'm gonna dip out. But I greatly appreciate, especially thank you so much to Ghostface Fanatic again for the super chats. I really appreciate it, man. But thank you to everyone who came by the stream and hung out with me. I'm just some dork who likes to talk about horror movies, and I'm so lucky to have so many wonderful people that want to talk to me all the times I go live. So I appreciate that. But yeah, so if you've never seen Scream, watch it, because like in a lot of ways, you know, Scary Movie makes fun of it and all that, but it is a shame that those movies get the credit that Scream deserves. Also, like, if you look at, this might have changed recently, but like the Scary movies have collectively made more money than the Scream movies, at least up until Scream 4 is released. I don't know what Scream 5's box office performance might have changed that, because it's like it was super successful, but I don't know. I'll have to check it out. What do you think they did in the new Hellraiser? I'm super pumped for the new Hellraiser. It sounds like it's going to be a much more book accurate version of the series. I'm pumped for it. a reason why I'm really excited for it is because of Jamie Clayton, who's portraying Pinhead, the Hell Priest, this time around. It seems like it's going to be a much more like book accurate portrayal of the character. Pinhead has always been described as like genderless, androgynous. So like I think that works for me personally. You have Doug Bradley giving an amazing performance in all of those Hellraiser movies. I mean, he makes those movies for sure, 100%. But to take the franchise in a new direction and go closer to the books, I'm totally down for that. Like Doug Bradley, he's probably done. He's probably done playing Pinhead, and I it's understandable. He's getting up there. He's tired. Probably just wants to chill. He's had a crazy career, an amazing career too at that. So I'm actually really pumped for this new take on Hellraiser. Like I said, probably going to be a much more book accurate portrayal of the character, and I'm excited to see it. I'm very curious to see what they do with it. I'm always excited to see to see new directions in old, already established franchises, because then anything can happen. Like that's always something that's so exciting to me. And so many people are scared for this movie because it's going straight to Hulu. But to me, that doesn't really mean anything nowadays. Like maybe if you said that 5 years ago, I'd be worried. But for me, there's a lot of really good movies that go straight to streaming nowadays. Like Fresh from this year was amazing and definitely in my top 5 for horror movies released this year. And will probably stay that way until the end of the year. So I don't know. I mean, you never know. You never know with movies going straight to streaming. Sometimes they're secret gems that are like, oh my God, this is awesome. So for me, Scream 5 was the first Scream I watched, and unfortunately I already knew the killers because of Instagram. I also searched up the killers of the other movies before watching them. So Scream 6 is a clean slate for me. Gotcha. Yeah, I had to turn off the comments on my videos before Scream 5 came out because I had people saying like, "Oh, dude, they revealed the killers on Reddit," and I'm just like, "You want to know that before you go into this movie?" Like, I don't know. I don't get it. I like if you're someone that's your job, you're gonna leak stuff. All right, like whatever. But like as a fan of this franchise, I don't want to know that going into the next movie. And I was really shocked with Amber being revealed as the killer. That was awesome. I never got to have that with the Scream films of like being shocked with a killer reveal, and I was so happy that I got to see that with the character of Amber. So what else do we got? What else do we got to say? So what happened? Did you get the wings? No, I could not because I don't want to go out. I'm sick. And I might have that little fun little thing going around right now. So, yeah, no, I don't want to go out while I'm sick. So I got a stuffy nose, as you can very clearly hear from my from my super nasally voice. Yeah, so I maybe in the future I will do that stream. I think it'll be fun. Just it couldn't happen today. I've been fighting this cold for like 2 days now. So hopefully I'm back. Ready to go in better health sometime soon. I keep getting sick and it's really annoying, but hey, hopefully not. Hopefully we can stop. Hopefully I can feel a little better moving forward. So yeah, I've gone like 2 years without getting that thing. Like I said, that's been going around. I got really lucky, but I'm like 90% sure I have it. I'm drinking a Dr. Pepper right now and I can't taste it at all. And I'm really worried. I'm like, fuck. 2 years I went without it, and I dodged it in every corner I possibly could. Now I'm like, I think I have it. Shit. So. Woo! Super dark take on Freddy, you say? With like a sleep paralysis demon. That's actually kind of cool, man. That's some scary shit too. Like I've had that happen a few times. So that's scary. That's horrifying when that happens. And like you can't see anything, but you feel a presence in the room when you have that. I don't know what causes that, man, but like it happens to me randomly, like every so often. I don't know. Super scary. So to play off of that with Freddy Krueger being like a sleep paralysis demon, that might be cool. So I hope it's just allergies. Thank you so much, Carrie. I hope it is too. I'm feeling better today. Like I feel much better than how I did yesterday. So hopefully that's all it is. Hopefully that's the case. Needs a large Mountain Dew with a Red Bull chaser. My God. My God, my heart would just be like, like it would just burst out of my chest. There'd be, you'd just see like blood shooting out of my chest. It'd be crazy. That's an awesome visual. What's fresh? I need a movie to watch tonight and recommendations. Fresh is a new movie on Hulu, directed by first-time director Mimi Cave. I was really impressed by it. It's Sebastian Stan playing a cannibal, and that's really all I want to tell you about it. I really liked it. Really messed up film. If you like that kind of stuff, I know Jen Warner explicitly told me she did not like that. So yeah, like there are certain movies that are a little too much for some people, and that's just personal preference and all that. But if you like that kind of stuff, like if you like really fucked up shit, Fresh is the movie for you, I would say. Very reminiscent of like a lot of A24 movies where you see a lot of really messed up things like that. So there you go. I really liked it. Honestly. I think the ending is the only problem that I had with it, and I won't spoil it for you, but it kind of just ends. Like it's one of those movies where you're like, it's building and building and building, and you have all these crazy things happen, and then there's a really shocking thing that happens towards the end. But then like, I don't know, to me it's just like they just ended it. Like it's not as bad as Morbius, where like they literally just ended that film in the middle of a fight scene. But yeah. Ooh. Oh, your boy's stuffy. I apologize if you're like, oh, that's so gross, Jake. My God. Sorry. But I'm having fun. We're vibing. We're having a great time on the stream. But unfortunately, all good things do have to come to an end. So I'm going to wrap up the stream, but thank you guys so much for joining me on this wonderful night. Ghostface Fanatic, once again, thank you so much. You're the MVP tonight. And I will play one more thing for you. Because holy shit, Ghostface fucking killed him.
Holy shit, it's Ghostface!
And I will not be sending you a copy.
I'll send you a copy.
There we go. Thank you guys so much. If you supported me at the $25 tier on Kickstarter, hop on over to the Discord here in like 20 minutes, and we're gonna do a little hour-long Q&A. So we will see ya. Don't forget to kill it out there, y'all. Peace.